Hi there, in this video I'll talk about how to better understand sexuality and gender diversity so that we can be more compassionate with ourselves and each other. Have you ever been confused about sexuality or gender identity, your own or someone else's? Do you want to better understand and be compassionate about this? Then this video is for you. So let's start with the difference between sex and gender, which is often misconstrued as being one and the same, even though it's not. Sex is what we are assigned at birth based on our genitals and our chromosomes. Most of us are born as male or female, again, based on our genitals or having XX or XY chromosomes. There's another socially constructed category called intersex. And this term is used in a variety of situations where a person is born with reproductive organs or sexual anatomy that doesn't fit into the typical definitions of male or female. So for example, it could be that someone is born with female genitalia on the outside, but has mostly male anatomy on the inside. Or it could be that a girl is born with noticeably large clitoris, or a boy is born with a noticeably small penis. It also could be that the chromosomes are not all XX or all XY. Let's talk about gender. Gender is socially constructed. So if someone's born with a penis, sex determined as male, they're supposed to like manly, masculine things. However, if someone's born with a vagina, sex determined as female, they're supposed to like feminine things. And as we all know, we don't all fit nicely into these socially determined categories and boxes. And oftentimes it's set up so that we actually have to constantly prove our masculinity or our femininity, which leaves a lot to be desired. Transgender, transcending gender, is often used as an umbrella term to describe hundreds of gender possibilities. And this can include drag queens who dress up in another gender for performance or fun. This can also include cross-dressers who are often straight men who find pleasure in dressing up in another gender part-time. This can include transgender men and transgender women who have this internal felt sense of who they are and express this through their outward appearance. This also includes genderqueer people who self-identify in a way that is not based on the gender binary, not just masculine, not just feminine. It might include something that's more androgynous. It could be including both masculine and feminine characteristics of who they are at the same time, at different times, by the day, by the hour, by the month. Lots of different possibilities here. So you might have seen Facebook that it used to be that it was just 2 categories for gender, and now there's well over 30. Gender diversity is really important for us to accept, acknowledge, and celebrate. Now let's talk about sexuality, which includes sexual orientation, sexual behavior, and sexual identity. Sexual orientation is that internal felt sense of who you're attracted to, either the same gender or another gender. It's also usually an enduring pattern of attractions, including sexual, emotional, affectional, romantic, psychological, spiritual, intellectual, all kinds of different ways that we can be attracted to someone. It's also not a lifestyle, a choice, or a behavior. You can either act on it or not. And it usually is enduring. It usually lasts a very long time, but it also can be fluid. What's important to notice here is a distinction, that it can organically change over time. Often doesn't for people, but it can. And it's not something that you can force. You cannot force yourself to be straight if you're gay. You cannot force yourself to be gay if you're straight. So these are important considerations to understand about sexual orientation. Another aspect of sexuality is sexual behavior, and this is who you have sex with and what kind of sex you have. Motivations here can include love, pleasure, affection, loneliness, experimentation, societal expectations, religious expectations, and/or coercion. It's important here to recognize that it is not a determiner of sexual orientation or identity. There's a difference between doing and being. So for example, there could be a man whose sexual orientation is gay, but married to a woman and only has sex with her. He might fantasize about men, but he's only sexually with her. It also could be someone who's a male sex worker having sex with men for money, but only attracted to women and only dating women. Another aspect of sexuality is sexual identity, and this is who you say you are to the world, how you identify. And this can include being lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, straight, asexual, pansexual, polysexual, and/or kinky. Asexual is someone that has low or no sexual attraction to someone. They might have romantic interest though. Polysexual is someone who's sexually attracted to multiple genders and sexes, but not necessarily all, whereas pansexual is someone who's sexually attracted to people of all genders and all biological sexes. Polyamory is having more than one intimate relationship at a time with the consent of all parties involved. This has sometimes been referred to as ethical non-monogamy. And kinky can include BDSM and other kinds of kinky behaviors. So obviously there is a lot of diversity in sex and gender and our sexuality. And I want to encourage us all to appreciate and enjoy and embrace, celebrate all the different ways of being and expressing ourselves.